Good morning, children. Now in section 1 of the lesson, An Uncomfortable Bed, you see how the author, he was trying to protect himself from the practical jokes planned by his friends. Now this author was also very fond of playing practical jokes on other people, and so he thought that his friends also was trying to take revenge on him. Yes, they were also planning something like a practical joke. They wanted to take revenge. And what is the meaning of take revenge, children? Yes, what's the meaning? Pagaram vitta. So even though his friends had not planned anything, he thought അവര് പകരം വീട്ടാൻ പോകുകയാണ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് എന്നെ തന്നെ രക്ഷിക്കണമെന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് രക്ഷിക്കാൻ നോക്കിയത്? Once he came there to the home, his friends all welcomed him very well. They were talking too much, they were laughing too much. So when he saw all that, he thought they were trying to take revenge on him. Yes, and lastly, when he entered the room at night to sleep, he closed all the windows. Yes, put out the candle light. And then what did he do? He went to the bed, and so when he reached there, getting ready for sleep, we'll see what happens in the next section. Read this section. Section 2. All the same, there was danger. I was going to perhaps receive a cold shower from overhead, or perhaps the moment I stretched myself out, find myself sinking to the floor with my mattress. So he thought that somebody was going to pour water over his head, or as soon as he sat on the bed, he thought that the bed would go down, it would break and he would go down, he would be lying on the floor. I searched in my memory for all the practical jokes I had experienced. So he was trying in his mind, searching in his mind what all practical jokes he had played on the other people, but he was not able to find anything. And I did not want to be caught. Certainly not. He did not want to be caught in the practical joke. Then I suddenly thought of a precaution which I considered ensured safety. Precaution means a preventive measure. What did he try to do? I caught hold of the side of the mattress gingerly. Kedaka. Mattress means kedaka. Very slowly he started pulling the mattress. It came away, followed by the sheet and the rest of the bedclothes, the pillows, the bed sheet, everything came along with him, along with the mattress. I dragged all these objects into the very middle of the room facing the entrance door. So what did he do? He took all this mattress, the bedclothes, the pillows, everything, and put it in the middle of the room, just near the entrance. I made my bed over again as best as I could at some distance from the suspected bedstead and the corner which had filled me with such anxiety. So he thought there was something in the room. His mind was telling him there was some danger in the room. Somebody was trying to make a practical joke on him. So he was very suspicious. Then I extinguished all the candles, and groping my way, I slipped under the bedclothes. So extinguished all the candles means he put out the candle. And then groping my way. Groping my way means touching all the things in the room and finding the way. He slipped under the bedclothes. He came and lay down under the bedclothes. For at least another hour, I remained awake, starting at the slightest sound. So 1 hour he did not sleep. He was just lying down without sleeping, trying to listen to any sound which came there. Everything seemed quiet in the chateau. I fell asleep. So there was only quietness in the room, in the whole chateau. And he soon went to sleep. I must have been a deep sleep for a long time, but all of a sudden I was awakened with a start by the fall of a heavy body tumbling right on top of my own, and at the same time I received on my face, on my neck and on my chest a burning liquid which made me utter a howl of pain. So what happened? He went to sleep off. Yes? So he was in deep sleep. He did not hear anything, any sound, nothing he heard. And suddenly he woke up from his sleep with the fall of a heavy body on top of him. Something heavy came and fell on his body, over his body. And not only that, on his face, on his neck and on his chest, a burning liquid which made me utter a howl of pain. Something very hot came pouring over his face, his neck and his chest, and he started howling, crying loudly with pain. And a dreadful noise, as if a sideboard laden with plates and dishes had fallen down, almost deafened me. Dreadful noise means terrible noise. So along with that, there was a very loud noise of some plates and glasses, especially which is kept on a shelf. All those things together falling down. Such was the big noise that he heard. I was smothering beneath the weight that was crushing me and preventing me from moving. Smothering means suffocating. He could not get his breath because there was a heavy weight on top of him. And I stretched out my hand to find out what the nature of this object was. I felt a nose, a face, a nose and whiskers. So what did he do? It was dark in the room, isn't it? He had pulled out all the curtains and it was very dark. So with his hands he tried to touch out what was lying on top of him. And when he touched, he knew that it was a face. He touched the nose and even the whiskers. Then with all my strength, I launched out a blow at this face. I launched out a blow means gave a big blow on the face. But I immediately received a hail of cuffings. Hail of cuffing means a lot of blows or beatings, which made me jump straight out of the soaked sheets and rush in my nightshirt into the corridor, the door of which I found open. So what happened? When he gave one blow to this object which was lying on top of him, what happened? That object returned all the blows. He gave the author many blows on his face, on his chest, everywhere. He got some beatings also. So what did he do? Now he was very much frightened. And you see something burning. So all the sheet, the bed sheet was all soaked. And he got up in his night dress. He ran outside to the corridor, the passage, to the veranda. And he found that his room was open. He had locked the room, yes, but he found now that it was open. Oh heavens, it was broad daylight. So it was the night had gone, the night had passed and day had come. He did not know that. The noise brought my friends hurrying into my apartment, and we found sprawled over my improvised bed the dismayed valet, who, while bringing me my morning cup of tea, had tripped over this obstacle in the middle of the floor and fallen on his stomach, spilling my breakfast over my face in spite of himself. So what had happened in the picture, can you see? Yes, valet means the gentleman's personal male attendant, the male servant. Yes, he had come inside the room to give him the breakfast. And so what had happened? You remember the author was lying in the middle of the room. He was not lying on his bed. He was lying down on the floor, isn't it? And what happened? He tripped over the bed and he fell on the author. In the picture you can see the male servant is on the author, and the hot tea or coffee or whatever it was had spilt on his face, on his neck and on the chest, and that was very hot. That is why it was burning. And also the plate, the glass, everything was broken. Everything you can see on the floor there. The precautions I had taken in closing the shutters and going to sleep in the middle of the room had only brought about the practical joke I had been trying to avoid. And how they all laughed that day. So actually they had not arranged or they had not planned any practical joke, but he was frightened that his friends would take revenge on him, and he thought, and he took all the precautions, all the safety measures, so that nothing dangerous would happen to him. But what happened? Finally, he himself had caused a practical joke there because he took all the mattress, the bedclothes and put it on the floor and he lay down on the floor. That's why the accident happened there. That's why the male servant, when he brought in the breakfast, tripped over the bed and fell on him. Even the burning liquid fell on his face and he was burnt. So that is how what happened there in section 2. Now read and understand exercise A. Tick the correct options. Number 1. The narrator was dash of practical jokes. The answer is he was fond of practical jokes. Second one, the princely reception that he received made the narrator suspicious. Third one, during dinner, the narrator suspected that his friends had planned a practical joke on him because of the exaggerated laughter. They were laughing too much. And fourth one, the heavy body that fell on the narrator in the morning turned out to be the valet. It is pronounced as valet, V-A-L-E-T. T is silent there. So read the lesson well, children. I will give you which all new words to study. Read both section 1 and section 2 and we will continue in the next class. Thank you.